Hola.
I feel very dark over in the corner today.
In
This
your
light,
corner?
yeah, the light seems not as bright as
Hmm. You look the same.
well. Good.
Did you turn the light on in front of you?
That's the one I'm talking about.
It's on?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's got dimmed down.
Yeah, it looks dim. It looks like it's cloudy.
That's
like
that's
a
probably
cloudy
so
day
it look
vibe.
yeah, you so you don't get all washed out.
Yeah.
We leave it to Chris. Chris is always doing crazy stuff.
Uh-huh.
Paint Liquor, Roby, what's going on? Ghost Hunter, Big Bob, Zero Kelvin, what's going on? A storm of wrenches. I don't even want to be a part of a storm of wrenches.
No, that sounds terrible. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Hello to the cult leader and all hail Lord Commander Jintastic. Well, how can I be the cult leader if she's Lord Commander?
Yeah.
She's technically the cult leader.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying to be in the grace and light of Jin.
Yeah.
You just have to go through me to get to her.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I'm gonna start making everyone do TikTok dances.
I'm the cardinal, she's the pope.
Yeah.
Wad, what's going on?
TikTok dances so that we can be a real cult.
Hope everyone's living La Vida Loca.
No.
You're just making words up.
I don't
Patamaton,
wanna
yes.
live
We
La Vida
started
Loca.
we started a Regent yesterday. So today
You
is
started
more panel lining.
What did you do on that? It looks. Is it paint? Is there paint on that? It looks gray.
It does. It looks like gray primer, or it looks like the gray plastic. But
Yeah.
yes, it's painted.
Okay.
You can start seeing all of the highlighted edges. Like if you look down here.
Oh yeah. I
Right.
can see that. Area.
This is a very delicate gray workup. But yeah, it does look kind of like we haven't done anything.
So was it? What color was it primed?
Black.
And then gray.
And then dark neutral gray, bright neutral gray.
Gotcha.
Well, the bright neutral gray was really a mix of bright neutral gray and neutral gray, and that's also what we're panel lining with. So that's where I'll start. Jen is Cobra Commander, and Jason is Destro. So I'm the smart one? That's very rude to Jen.
I don't know what those words mean, so I'll take your word for it.
Ghost Hunter, quit it. Just quit it. You stop. All right, so I need to mix up another batch.
Who'd you get the big balloons from?
Huh?
Who'd you get the big balloon from?
Christopher put those, they were back here.
Yeah, in the video that Gabe sent me, I saw.
In the what?
So I saw them in the video when Gabe sent it to me.
Oh.
But I didn't know who gave them to you, is what I was asking.
And I only assumed Chris did because he did all the rest of the stuff. He and Gabe did all the rest of the stuff, so I assumed it was them. I never asked. So I'm sorry if I missed whoever gave me birthday balloons. But Christopher and Gabe we went out to lunch, and Christopher was supposed to go. And right at the last minute, he's like, I can't. Sorry, I got to ditch you. I got some bank stuff.
Oh.
He lied.
Oh.
He did not have bank stuff.
He had to get the balloons.
The smarmy little pirate.
Where'd you go for lunch? You didn't tell me about that.
Weinberger.
Oh.
I think that was Weinberger Day. Phil, Gabe, Jordan, me, maybe?
Jordan was not here.
Well, Jordan wasn't here. So it wasn't Jordan.
Definitely not Jordan.
Well, then who
No,
went?
Jordan's
Oh, Shelby
resting
went. We
today.
took Shelby for her first time to Weinberger, I believe.
Oh.
Mo, what's happening? Crickets.
Paint Liquor said you have no idea the mental gymnastics I went through planning my mini for this month's challenge views. I'm excited. I don't know what this challenge is. Not looked.
Challenge is a very odd foursome of colors. Very odd.
It does. I don't see a June. Is it test forum challenge?
Huh? I didn't put it in the channel yet.
Oh, well, how do people know?
Well, they know because they were here on stream yesterday.
Oh, I see.
It's not my job, so I'm really bad about picking up the slack for whoever's job it is. All I did was come up with it. Yes, I facilitated it with Gabe. And then I didn't ever think about who was going to tell the world about it. So, well, let's blame Gabe.
Yeah.
Gabe's a good point of blame for that one, chat.
Oh, sorry. I turned down a bit. No, that's pretty loud.
What's
actually. They said my mic is low. That's because it hasn't been me sitting here. So other people talk much louder. Ryan Wallace, I think this is saying, so when it comes to the challenge this month, I'm assuming between burnt orange, red, gray, and white and black should get me a type of flesh tone if needed.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, see, I got it without even looking at the way you corrected it. Ultramarine, yellow, green, red, beige, and burnt orange. Wow. Did you just pull those out of a hat?
Pretty much. It was intended to be a random draw. It kept drawing greens. So we could have either gone with monochromatic green plus ultramarine, which seemed horrible, or I switched it up and took out one of the greens and put burnt orange in. So they had a reddish color.
Whose new username? Who dis?
That's Mike.
Oh. Trying to trick us? It's odd. Mike said, it's odd. I spent 3 hours today going through my media server looking at STLs trying to figure out something to use those colors and the theoretical mixes that I'd want to try using. I should have known, because Mike has lots of files, he said. So many options. So it's red beige, not red gray?
Red gray. There's no such thing as red beige.
Oh, there's beige red, isn't there?
There's beige red.
Oh, not red beige.
But it's red gray.
Red gray.
They did not get a flesh tone.
Uh-huh. Wild Tomato said, are you doing all this gray as underpainting for colors later, or is this a gray color scheme?
Nope, it's a gray mech. This is part of the Gray Death Legion. When we looked up on Sarna who used the Regent the most, it comes in the Gray Death Heavy Assault Pack or whatever it is. So, it's gray.
Well, I think... So if I paint a black and white model, it's in keeping with the 6 paints.
What's that?
If I paint a black and white model, it's in keeping with the 6 paints. No, I think that you have to use all of the colors, right?
You have to use the 4 colors we gave you. You also can use black and white to tint, tone, and shade. Black and white are not part of the challenge. They are freebies that you get to make mixing easier. So no, you can't do grayscale in a 4-color challenge where those weren't the primary colors we chose. Nice try, though. Chad, always trying to rig the system.
Did not get a traditional flesh tone, yes. Game Delay said, I just did the math on how many streams in a row I've watched, and it matches up pretty exactly with my 7-month sub streak to Monument Hobbies. I guess I love not having commercials. It was nice.
Man, that's how they get you. That's how they get you, because that's like my subs. I'm like, I'm not watching commercials anymore.
So if you don't sub, are there commercial interruptions?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And does it?
And then
pause?
the one at the beginning.
And there's one at the beginning.
The pre-roll commercials when you join a stream are like some of the longest. They can go for like 3 minutes.
Oh, jeez. And then when a commercial comes on in the middle of a stream, does it pause the stream and pick back up?
Oh, no.
So you just missed that chunk.
It actually puts the stream up into a little thing in the corner, like picture-in-picture with no audio.
Oh, okay. I mean, that still sucks.
No. Twitch doesn't do anything beneficial for the viewer. And they just raised sub prices today.
I saw that. Yeah, I got that.
This is what companies do when they've never been profitable and you're owned by Amazon, whose shareholders are starting to wonder when the money is going to come.
The ad experience on Twitch is absolutely terrible. Teeny said, unless you do turbo, which I gave in and went for.
Do they still sell Turbo?
So the ad experience on Twitch is worse than YouTube? Because YouTube is pretty bad too.
The what?
Basalt said the ad experience on Twitch is absolutely terrible, especially compared to YouTube. And I think YouTube is pretty terrible.
YouTube is bad on the television for sure. It's not as bad on the computer.
Okay.
Because on the computer, they always give you the ability to skip.
Oh, that's right, but it's harder to skip.
But on the TV, they don't. I mean, a lot of times on the TV, it seems like the commercial roll happens quicker than on the computer. Because I'll get up and shut the TV off and go watch whatever I was watching on my computer because I can't stand it on TV.
Commercial suck, YouTube Red or Premium or whatever keeps ads off the YouTube streams. Not great for creator, but totally worth $10 a month for no ads at all. Use Brave browser, block some ads. Awkwardish Panda said, yeah, Turbo is still a thing.
I was Turbo for a long time, but I thought maybe they got rid of it and then brought it back. Because I paid like $9.99 a month for Turbo so that I didn't have commercials on any channel, regardless of my sub status or not. But then it went away at some point. I don't know why.
Maybe you had to renew. Maybe it didn't auto-renew.
Hmm?
Maybe it didn't auto-renew.
Maybe some renewal fell through. Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, YouTube is bad, but at least they pause the video and you don't miss anything. Max Salty said, I listened to Jason's advice and came back again for more learning to paint.
Awesome.
Sector said, a quick question. If I fill a bathtub with noosh, will it make my skin more tanned and appealing?
Yes.
And also, how much for 15 gallons?
And also what?
How much for 15 gallons?
So that's well over.
There's a lot of conversion in there, a lot of math.
That's well over $3,000 worth of paint. Let's just leave it there.
YouTube is great on TV. You just have to pay for no ads. $10 a month. And since 70% of what I watch is on YouTube, it's so worth it.
Yeah, if it's your main TV source, then I can see paying for it like, a subscription deal. I don't think that's bad. I probably ought to look into that.
Probably ought to look into it.
Because I definitely watch more YouTube than I ever have watched TV.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you do watch a lot of it on your computer, but...
I mean, that'd be fine too.
Probably because of the ads on the TV. It makes it less appealing. Awkwardish Panda said, yeah, they got rid of it, reworked it, and brought it back for $12 a month. The Turbo thing.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I wasn't losing my mind. I was like, why did I ever get rid of that?
Vector said, magnesium is amazing. My new metal shadow color.
Awesome. Magnesium's great.
Few things annoy me more than when the YouTube premium payment comes out of my bank.
Then when what?
When the YouTube premium payment comes out of my bank.
Oh.
Chief among those being YouTube ads. The ads are more annoying than the subscription coming out of the bank.
I have to be honest. Like, YouTube is probably one of the few places where an ad has never grabbed me. It's literally never for anything I care about.
Well, because you're annoyed, because you're like engrossed in your video, and then
I think that's probably it.
You're like, ugh.
As I'm just flipping through, Instagram can grab me.
And because also on YouTube, there's no, like when you watch, I don't like commercials, and all of our streaming is ad free because I can't stand commercials. But at least in like a TV show, they set it up to where there's like a logical breaking point to pause the show and do an ad. it's just so abrupt on YouTube, you know, because like the creators are not thinking about when an ad's going to happen. They're just making their video.
Yeah, the creator, we could stop and do an ad roll right now. We could be like,
Right.
15-second break or whatever and hit an ad.
Yeah.
But that's not how it happens. 9 times out of 10, it just happens.
How was the birthday trip to I went to San Diego for Jason's birthday. The San Diego trip was pretty good. Oh, they're all stuck on the $3,000 for the 15 gallons of noosh. 15 gallons of noosh is going to wreak havoc on your pipes. How many commercials do you have floating around in your head from when you were a kid? Oh my gosh.
All of them.
So many. James, hello. How you feeling? We miss you. What's the recommended ratio of metallic medium to paint?
Depends on what you're doing. You know, I with painting, it's frustrating. I know as a newer painter, there aren't like golden ratios, right? I would say that, you know, starting probably 2-to-1 or something like that. But you could start 1-to-1 and see how you like it with some paints, right? The less opaque a paint is, the less medium you will have to use to get the metallic to show through. So think of it like that. So if you're mixing with a yellow, you'll use less than if you're mixing with like a very opaque red, let's say. One of the bigger keys to remember when doing the metallic medium is to always start with a color that is darker than the actual color you want. So if I were going for a red, I'd probably start with red oxide or burnt red and not pyrrole red, because pyrrole red will become so bright it might lean a little bit towards pink because there is a little bit of a tinting base to the metallic medium. It's not really a white, but it mixes in and has some of the effects of mixing in a white to the color you're putting into it. So just be careful with that.
Political ads are the worst, and they're going to be starting.
Local ads?
Political.
Oh, political.
Ads.
Either I'm going deaf or you're talking very quiet today.
I don't feel like I'm talking any quieter than I normally talk. Noir Deus. After you announced the sale at the end of the stream Friday, I rushed over to order the Shinobi model, so hyped for it. Awesome. I was doing some shipping today, and I sent out a few Shinobis.
You got lucky if you got a Shinobi. I mean, they were some of the first ones to sell out.
Oh, really? Yeah,
yep.
I'm still working on Friday orders. Especially when I get those Monument Hobbies commercials when I watch YouTube. I'm like, what weirdo would shop there? Seriously.
We only serve up the goodness. If we were only so lucky as to only have Monument Hobbies ads. Those guys are crazy.
Walking Harder said, it's funny, I oftentimes look forward to the ad break on TV so I can get up and do something, then come back to it. The fact that you can pause the video on YouTube means you don't ever need or want that ad break. Exactly.
That's true.
How do I order it? You can't. We don't have enough. Papa Chicken said, man, that Regent, always love to see stompy robots. Is this going to be some gray Death Legion work?
Yes. Except I haven't determined if I'm doing any, like, of the darker gray camo. I was setting it up for camo yesterday, but I'm digging the flat gray of it. So I may just do some red and some weathering, and we'll see what we get. I'm not sure.
Avian,
I haven't made all those decisions yet.
Avian, is that not still the Menards jingle? I feel like every time I've gone back to Minnesota, I've heard that.
Menards. Like a lumberyard, right?
It's like a Home Depot.
I feel like we had Menards in Colorado.
Maybe. So you guys are clearing a bunch of warehouse space with the sale. Any interesting offerings we don't know about that Monument is planning on filling that space with?
What do you mean? More minis?
Uh, I think he's just
I mean,
wondering.
we're not announcing anything right now. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We have some big news coming that I think will rock the North American hobby world.
James says, "Happy birthday, boss. I'm getting stronger every day, and I'm so ready to get back."
Awesome. Hope you're taking care of yourself.
Mud Monkey said, "I just ordered the jades and turquoise along with the metallic medium to paint a Mandarin Duck Knight."
Nice.
You know what? It's not. It's up on like almost all the way. I'm talking right into it. I don't know what's happening today. I don't know if I haven't been here for like 5 days, so I can't tell you what's been happening while I've been gone.
Maybe the gain is down. I mean, that's.
Gabe, if you're listening, can you come in and look at this?
I don't hear her based on her microphone. I think she's talking quietly today. Either that or I'm going more deaf, which could also be the case.
Max Salty said, "I'd pay $4.99 a month to have only Monument Hobbies commercials."
We better get to work. I don't know that you get really tired of the ones
you
we
get real
have.
tired of 'em.
If that's all you saw.
I see them all the time.
One day we'll have a backlog big enough that you wouldn't get tired of it.
Ryan Wallace actually see Monument ads on Facebook a lot, so I get to chuckle about the seal suit lately while I doom scroll.
Awesome.
15 gallons of Noosh. Here's the math that we needed. 15 gallons of Noosh is 747 bottles at $16 USD per bottle. That's $7,584 for a full 15 gallons plus tax and shipping. I appreciate that you added that part in. And he didn't quote a price. This one, Droidica, I think it said. Do you guys have a video on how to prime with your airbrush? Yes.
Yeah.
We do. I had to stop painting last summer due to cancer. I need help learning to use it. I bought it and then never got to use it. Oh yeah, for sure.
Check
On
out the
our
YouTube. I
YouTubes.
believe there's a priming video on there. You can
it's
look at
called
yesterday's
Priming
video
101.
of me priming this guy. So you can look in on YouTube or on Twitch in the video, like for yesterday's stream, and I primed this guy. And even though I didn't like step by step you through it, it shows exactly how to go about it.
Save Big Money at Menards is the Midwest national anthem. Menards is what would happen if Farm and Fleet, Walmart, and Home Depot had a love child.
I'd have to ask Carter. I can't remember the farm supply place that I used to go to in Colorado to get stuff for my land.
Mike said, "Sweet, yeah, I figured it was a clearing space for a new offering you weren't ready to talk about yet. Preparing the wallet." Teeny said, "Can it rock the UK hobby world too, please?"
It will in its own way.
Goblin-y rocking. Sir Blame said, "Is that some MF Battletech?"
Some what?
MF Battletech?
It is. Somebody came on here, and I can't remember who it was. One of our viewers was like, could I get you to paint a mech soon? And I've painted tons. We did 47 of my personal mercenary battalion. I did 47 mechs, right? I think four regiments and a command lance, plus some spares. and a drop ship for Classic Battletech for the Wayward Sons. We painted 47, but we painted them very, very quickly. So I'm spending a lot more time on this guy. I don't know what it's just a filthy clanner. So it's not a mech I'm going to play. But I'm going to spend some time on him, do some cool weathering and maybe some battle damage and such. It should be fun.
James, Ghost Hunter, and Vector, thank you for assuring me that I am not going crazy.
They're trying to get discounts or something.
Where did I miss a raid?
We got a raid?
I don't know. People are saying welcome raiders to a raid. Oh, Maniac. How did I miss that?
Scott!
Hello, raiders.
We stream on YouTube and Twitch now, and the interface is not very fast. So, apologies. Welcome, everybody. Monsieur Scott. How the hell are you?
Hello, hello.
This is not a Hunchback. This is called a Regent. It is a Clan Omnimech Assault chassis, 90-tonner. It does have the Hunchback kind of gun on the shoulder. It's got a enlarged panther head kind of a thing. It's got awesome arms. It's kind of it's like a Frankenmech. It's made by, in the lore, it's made by the same factory that made the Awesome. So it has a lot of the same. And the Hauptmann, I think they kind of joined the old Hauptmann chassis and the Awesome chassis. And so we looked it all up on Sarna yesterday when we were trying to figure out what the heck it was. I just grabbed a mech off of my shelf that looked like it was big enough to spend some time on. And was interesting enough.
Vector said that I'm easy to hear and there's no left-right phase offset, so can't figure out why. Some people are having a hard time hearing her. Those people just need to clean out their ears.
Like I said, I'm deaf anyway. So.
Let's start a hobby store chain called Menards. I like that.
Called what?
Menards instead of Menards.
Menards. Welcome to Menards. That's winning right there.
Baby J should have left word as to what the June challenge was going to be. Jason said it yesterday. He made
just
it up.
haven't
He
put
just
it in
hasn't
Discord
posted
yet.
it yet.
Hey, Gabe. We'll get Gabe to post it in Discord. This side.
Papa Chicken said I have a star of mechs to use Noosh for the first time with. How far do you recommend taking the paint process before that step? Panel modulation, edge highlights, metallics, then Noosh?
That's typically the way I like to do it. I like to get my values set. You know, like I would not use Noosh on this guy yet. I would get these edges done. And then I would do Noosh. And then re-edge to brighten certain aspects back up. Right? The only mech that I showed off Noosh on, we just dry brush. So we did this guy in like 15 minutes. Sprayed him. He started out just bright yellow green. So I just did a very quick, like black green, green, bright yellow green, like that. And then we Nooshed it with warm brown. And then I dry brushed it with pale yellow. So that was just very, very fast, showing how you can use Noosh to get a really good weathered look and get the bulk of your mech painted in like 15 minutes. So you could do like a whole army to this level very quickly, and then just worry about details like painting the guns, the black bits, you know, your lasers, your cockpits, things of that nature. So it can be a very fast technique, almost like speed painting. Or you can take a little bit more time with it, like we did on the Dreadnought that you see in some of the commercials. Right? This guy we did on stream, and he was painted up to our standard, what we use for our Death Guard, which is this first. Right? Kind of a bruised white, I call it. And then I used black brown, and I did noosh over the entirety of the model after I had already gone in and done the panel lining, the edge highlights. I did black brown on the whole thing, just basically like dip it in black brown noosh and then wipe it off. And then I went back with burnt sienna and yellow ochre and did the rust streaking in a more pinpoint fashion. That's in the video that's up on our YouTube channel where I go through and do this whole thing. So you can kind of see my process on where the model started versus where it ends up. But I like having edge highlights done before you apply filters, washes, noosh, all of those are filters. I like having some edge highlighting done because when you apply the filter, it darkens that edge highlighting, but it does it evenly with the base coat colors as well. So you still wind up with an edge detail, but it's going to be much darker. And then when you go back and do your final edge highlight, that little brighter color on there, you can add a little less of the brightness because it tails off and almost blends into the previous nooshed highlight, which is like what's happening here on these vents. And this guy was done really, really fast. So
Zazen wants to know, since you're talking about noosh right now, before you put that back, how does noosh compare to oil wash?
Very similar, and it's meant to be an acrylic version of oil filtering, like all over panel filtering. So the thing that I don't like about oils is that when you have like that alkyd resin that you find in like oil paints, it takes forever to cure, or you're spending a lot of time leaching most of the oil out of the paint, and then what you're left with doesn't work as well. You're using heavy solvents to dilute the paint down, whether it's turpentine, even if you're using like, odorless mineral spirits and things like that, they're still not healthy to operate around. So I don't like that for people when it's such a great method for beginners to really make really cool models. It's a better way to filter an overall model than, say, just dipping it in our black wash, right? And so I always wondered if we could make an acrylic, water-based version of that would have a long enough open time to be able to be a subtractive weathering tool like that, where you can wipe it off. And that's what noosh is. So you can go crazy with noosh. You can do 10-to-1, 20-to-1 noosh to paint, to where it has a super long open time. The guys at Artis Opus, when they did their video, they had it to where it was still reactivating after 45 minutes, which I had never tested it to that length of time. I was only looking to hopefully get 10 to 12 minutes out of it, because that's plenty of time to do a section even on a large tank. If you did one side, that gives you plenty of time to work the paint. And then you could just section the model like you do with oils. Anyway, it's very rare that you slather an entire model with oils because you're going to have to handle it. Some people do, but typically I will do a side and then the front and then, maybe the top and then the other side and the back or whatever. And I wanted something that would keep pace with that. And so that's what we developed. But a lot of people have gotten a lot longer usage out of it than even that, which is great.
Sir Blame wants to know what mech this is anyways. Can't get a grasp
this
on
is
it.
a, oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget, Regent.
Jose Diaz said, I just received the full catalog of your paints and I love most of them to death.
Awesome. Thank you, Jose.
Not all of them?
What?
Said most of them.
He loves all of them. He just didn't want to blow our heads up too much. Also, Jen is
I'm
super
not
quiet.
super
Exactly.
quiet. I'm just absolutely fine.
Are we going to buy Steamforged games? No. No, they just purchased the War Machine IP, though. Privateer says they didn't buy Privateer Press, so we'll see what happens there. That means Privateer still owns Monpok, maybe? I don't know. I thought they gave Monpok license to that other company that failed on the Kickstarter so badly.
We probably should, Game Delay, just randomly every once in a while start saying, welcome, Raiders.
Yeah, exactly.
Just in case. It's our...
Logic Boy, and to
alerts are
Sarna you go.
unreliable.
Yeah, the Regent is a big assault mech. It's like I said, it's kind of a Franken mech. It's got a head very reminiscent of a panther. It's in that time where, like, I think it's the Ill Clan times or something like that, when the clans have basically made it all the way to Earth. So it's very late. Not the kind of time frame that I prefer to play classic Battletech in.
When Miniac Monument Hobbies tour video. Have we heard anything about that?
Miniac Monument tour video. Where are we going? I mean, I'm down.
Wasn't he making
Scott's
a video?
fun. We get along well. I think Scott and I would travel pretty well together. as long as we had separate hotel rooms. Otherwise, we would just talk and never sleep.
Ryan Wallace, thank you.
Reminds you a little bit of a Corsair. I mean, once I get that big blocky look, it kind of reminds me more of a Banshee, almost, right? Iced tea is terrible in the UK, so can we get Monument Tea with a
No.
container that converts it in a paint water pot? Yes.
Nothing that we make is edible or is used as
I love you enough, we'll try. We just won't tell Jen. Monument Tea
a
bags.
vessel of beverages.
Will Noosh help you kick your terrible gnome oil habit? Is it as nutritious and delicious? Yes, of course.
Well, turn your volume up then. Thank you, Awkwardish Panda. And James, thank you. Thank you for all of you who are saying that you can hear me.
Could you use Noosh for a plasma effect? You most certainly could. You could use Noosh with brighter colors to give just remember that the way Noosh is applied as a reductive painting method, you're putting it on and then wiping it off. So the high spots are going to get paint removed from them. So it's kind of like reverse dry brush in that regard, right? Dry brushing only gets paint on the high spots. Noosh and oil washing with those reductive qualities, you're putting the paint on, removing it, and it's leaving it in the crevices, but clearing the tint on the panel, right? So you don't get much buildup on the top surfaces. Obviously, the longer you leave it on, the more you will put the filter on the whole model. But yeah,
Maybe
you could
that's
use
the
white,
problem.
and you could do like a white Noosh on the plasma coils to get it down into the coils. That could be really neat.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem, is that your volume was up pretty high.
I seem to be peaking the hell out of it.
Yeah, so I turned you down a little bit.
After the mech, am I going to reprime half of one of Jordan's models before he's back, then just pretend he did it before he left? I mean,
He's probably
I'm really
watching right
tempted
now,
to
so
reprime
this
that,
is dangerous.
That Thanos.
We
that he
could, we could, if we would have thought of that, we could have done it, and it probably would have confused him.
Think our ratings would go up?
Maybe.
Would our ratings go up, chat, if I prime the Thanos model? Or would you all have heart attacks? I think
Logic-
everybody would have a heart attack.
Logic Voice said Pro Bowl Titanium White changed my mini painting life for sure.
Awesome.
Love it.
I love that. T. Schmidt, you know where we are. What do you mean no notifications? You've been here longer. You know this.
Sometimes you get lost in what you're doing, though, and you need to get the beep on your phone.
Yeah, Noosh for glowing runes. We have a local girl who makes custom resin dice, and she uses Noosh mixed with our paint to do the pips on her dice. So she'll make various colors, whatever color she needs to go with the die, paint Noosh on the face, and then wipe it off, and it colors the pips down in there without you having to like color the number 2 with a paintbrush. So she loves it. She buys Noosh like it's going out of style.
McSalty said, today's the first day of my new life. No longer do I need to be chained to my null oil addiction. One day at a time.
One day at a time. You get a coin after a year.
I scheduled a pickup today, so they better be here. I don't believe they've been here yet.
We don't trust them as far as we can.
But our
kick 'em.
regular guy is on vacation, so that's why I scheduled
Oh, so the
it.
guy you talked to yesterday wasn't our regular guy?
No.
Okay.
Which is why it was super sketchy when he drives up and he's like, oh, did you not get a pickup on Friday? I'm like, no, how did you know that? Like,
'Cause
why
you
would you
forgot
just
to
walk
come
up
by.
and assume that we didn't get a pickup on Friday? Because you didn't do it? Gabe said they picked up. Okay. Gabe, can you hear me? Because people are complaining that they can't hear me. Would Noosh behave like how oils would for panel lining, like on Tau or...
No. That's an additive painting style when you're doing panel line. Use our glaze wash medium for that. The difference is additive or subtractive painting. Right now I'm doing additive painting. Panel lining, pin washing, that's additive. It means you're putting paint on the model and leaving it there. That's what we do 90% of the time. Subtractive is when you put the paint on and then you remove it with a tool or a cloth or whatever. Noosh is a subtractive painting medium. So it's not meant to get to the liquid state where it flows in capillary style through those channels. The glaze wash medium will do that. Glaze wash medium, water and paint will get you to where you can panel line like a dream.
Your viewership would go down because 15% of us would die if you reprimed Thanos.
That was my thinking. But that may not help as much as I would think it would.
If you reprimed it, Jordan would just paint it better the next time. That's true. But maybe not Thanos.
I think he quit.
T. Schmidt's very distracted. Planning for D&D this weekend and kids out of school. My brain feels like a pinball machine.
I remember that. It's
when
dad's
kids are
summer
out of
of
school,
hell.
Parents have to do a lot more work. I told an SVP, I don't know what an SVP is, but I told an SVP that our conversation was done at 5:01. Told him I had plans. He didn't feel the conversation was done, but that's a him problem. Does the glaze medium have flow improver in it?
It has the components of a flow improver. It is not only a flow improver. The glaze wash medium has the glycol portion that is a surfactant that flow improver uses. So yes, it can act that way. I use the glaze wash medium as the additive for when I'm airbrushing and I want to thin my paints. But yeah, we don't make a flow improver for that reason. We have been working on a flow improver, but the glaze wash medium, when we nailed the glaze wash medium, kind of put that on the back burner because it works just as well, if not better, because it can be used for so much more. A flow improver can be used to make a wash, but it doesn't do a very good job of it. The glaze wash medium can make a wash, act as a flow improver, and do that job so much better.
No announcement on the challenge just yet, like no official announcement just yet. It's not posted because Jordan is not here. He will be back tomorrow. And Captain Mannering's, I believe he is. We haven't seen him, but he did send me what I assume was a jet lag induced message this morning at like 5 o'clock saying that he was going to take the day off. Like, I didn't expect you to come in today.
Yeah, we weren't expecting him here, so.
Oh, Gabe posted it. So, Noir, yes, now it's official. Gabe did the thing.
Well, that's awkward timing. He listens to you. He doesn't listen to us.
Oh, and then Vector had a serious question. When to even use washes? I mean, when do I use your washes? When do you use washes? If I prefer to mix my own, can I stick to glaze and wash medium?
Yeah. I use glaze and wash medium. That's what I'm using right now to make my edge highlight color thinner so that I can build it up over time rather than just putting a big punchy bright line on the edge every time. It allows me to kind of blend my edge brighter and brighter as I go. So I use it all the time for that. Even when I'm not, technically making a wash, the glaze wash medium finds its way into my painting more than you would imagine. Basically, every time you see me mixing something in one of our graduated cups, that's mostly glaze wash medium, whether I'm painting with a brush like I am now or airbrush or whatever. And yeah, you can make your own wash colors with it. We've had videos and streams where that's all we've painted models with. So Jen and I painted these guys from Mantic. Right? This is just a quick, people would call it slap chop. It's just a zenithal highlight and then our transparent paints with the glaze wash medium. And that's it. This was, maybe that was an hour? I don't know. Super fast.
Easily within one stream.
And most of the time was taken in painting the metallics because that was where I had to, actually focus on doing highlights and rust coloring and things like that. The rest of the model was super easy. So that's glaze wash medium, turning in our paints into speed paints, basically. This whole guy was done the same way. Right when we came out with the glaze wash medium, I painted this guy with our normal paints and glaze wash medium. That's just a zenithal highlight. And then basically the glaze wash turning all of our colors into speed paints. That's it. A little bit of edge highlighting for the non-metallic portion on the boots and stuff. A little bit of dry brushing on the bone, but not a whole hell of a lot else.
Avian said, will you do more tutorials on the website, or is it going to be YouTube form going forward?
We've discussed how, because we, the methodologies in print, which is what's on the website, came about because I didn't have the ability to generate enough time to do the video content. Obviously, we prefer video content. That's where most people consume their learning, but we get a bunch of really good feedback on the methodology, so we don't want to give up on them. So at one point, we were working on being able to run a methodology for every short that we do. That's fallen behind. So we'll be trying to pick back up on that. It's just workload around here that we have to work through. But yeah, the answer is yes. We're still trying to find ways to create those. We're never able, across all the years we've been in business, it's rare that we're able to catch up and have enough people to do all the cool stuff we dream of doing, given the speed of our growth and all of that. So, good problem to have, but it's frustrating because we want to do so much more, especially on the education front, because we love it. What started this whole company.
Vivian said, I'm not one person loving the methodologies, but I learn in an old school method. Me too. I like to write things down.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Take things step by step. I don't like to have to rewind to get the stuff I missed from a video. It throws me every time I see it. I'm like, what is this long name? Oh, that's Mike. I've been using speed paints for my SW Legion stuff, but you're making me interested in using glaze and wash medium to have better control. Speed paint gets so finicky when it spreads poorly.
Tons of control, and your color always matches. The problem with buying a whole nother set of paints to paint in a particular method seems odd to me, right? Unless it's like tube acrylics versus liquid acrylics, because they have a totally different deal, but they can be the exact same color. They just have a more, dense pigmentation like we've been talking about. But speed paints, because the color is off, like you can call it red, but it doesn't match the regular red that you got to go back and paint after. So what the glaze wash medium allows you to do is turn any paint in your repertoire, whether it's ours or Vallejo or whomever's paint you enjoy painting with, it doesn't matter. You can turn it into a speed paint, and then when you are done doing the speed paint layer, you can pick that same color up and highlight with it, mix it into the speed paint, right? The speed paints have they're not as versatile. They're pretty versatile paints. They do some cool stuff, but they're very limited in how you can use them because you're not gonna, like edge highlight with them very often.
Gabe, that definitely was not a code for you to say that you're slacking. Huh? Absolutely not.
What did you say?
When you talked about how we don't have time to do all of it, Gabe said that's code for Gabe is slacking.
Yes, slackers.
Definitely. Noir said, I'm just getting back into the hobby. Never done one of these painting challenges, but it sounds like a fun way to get you painting. That is absolutely the goal.
The challenges are meant to
Try something new.
Push your own expectations of yourself and to kind of drive some fun learning your way. Because especially the limited palette challenges, those can be really fun because you're stuck in a situation of problem solving. Like, hey, I've got these colors. Now I got to pick a model they work with. Or, hey, I've got this model I really want to paint. How do I make these colors make it look good? Either way, is really fun to sit down and noodle out. How am I going to make this work? Teach you how to mix colors. You know, when we do something like this, it's not because we expect people to take ultramarine, burnt orange, you know, red gray, and yellow green and actually paint models, you know, like come up with an army scheme you love. It's so that you learn that mixing paint has a super value no matter how many paints you own. You may own 300 colors, but being able to mix those colors only makes you a better painter.
Vector said more tutorials on how to use different products to achieve different things would be great. Also, don't worry to split a video about a product into multiple shorter videos. Makes the particular method easier to find when you need it.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, for us, it's really just time. Our schedule gets more and more full. You know, what we call our marketing team, Gabe, Christopher, me, Jordan, is constantly inundated. Gabe just basically went through and is the main producer on Age of Angra, the game that we're releasing. So
our workday officially ends at 4, but most of those people do not leave at 4. Like they're usually here before I am in the morning. So yeah, their days are full.
Pro acryl to glaze wash, or is it dependent on the color? Well, it's not pigment weight, it's opacity, right? So because our paints, when you're using the glaze wash medium, you're thinning for opacity, right? You're not trying to get it to be a lower viscosity because the glaze wash medium is thick like paint. Now you can put water in it and lower the viscosity, but yeah, I typically start like 50-50, but I get more aggressive very quickly. The way I teach thinning is to be aggressive and over thin because you can always add more paint in. If you under thin, meaning that you don't lower the opacity enough and you go put that paint on your model, you can't make that area thinner, right? You're stuck with the opacity you get. So building up to opacity, like I'm doing on the edges here, it may seem like I'm hitting every edge like 6 or 7 times. I am, because I'm using a thin color, so I can define the edge with a thicker line, then narrow my line as I get to opacity, and that gives me a blend to my edge highlight. So even on something as crazy as this, where I've got 50 million panels, that does a lot of good because it makes the edge look a lot less like Tron. You know, the edges don't just jump off the model, which is what I'm trying to avoid. Somebody had asked earlier, and I didn't mean to skip over it, when to use washes. And the question on that is, again, if you're doing like, you know, what I would call get the army done painting, then I would base coat, you know, do my mid-tone and highlights, whether that was done with dry brushing or with a paint, you know, standard painting or airbrush, whatever. I would do my base shadow color. I would then go through and do my midtones and my highlights as if that was just your basic kind of entry level paint job. Then I would do the wash, right? And then I would go back and highlight it again.
Game Delay said, whenever we see you all on stream, you're never in a hurry. Is there a mirror to help you look less busy before you get on camera? It's actually, even though this is going to sound maybe unusual, this is like a really calm place for us, I think. You know, it's a good place to decompress and just kind of relax and have fun. So I think that's probably why we don't often look like frazzled or like we're running around like we do all day, the rest of the day.
Yeah, I have to admit that the stream for me on most occasions is something where I'm excited to get in and be able to let my brain tune in to just the painting and chatting with you guys. But, you know, there's also the days where, like, I don't show up
right
for stream.
Well,
because the days are too full.
Same here.
Jen yesterday,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
wasn't able to join us because she was too busy. Vector Monument Hobby sounds like a really cool work. We hope we are.
We hope so.
We've got a lot of new people, and the new people seem to love it, and that's always usually a good gauge. That and the fact that people like Gabe and Christopher, the guys that have been here, Christopher, even though he's only worked directly with us for a little while, has worked with us for a long time because he shot all our commercials and been part of the creative process here as an independent contractor before he came to work with us. You know, but that goes to show a lot in itself, right? He owned his own company, and he came to work for us.
Yeah, the first thing that we did with Christopher was the big ad where Jason drives up to the building. And that's, like, yeah, still one of my all-time favorites. I know game delay. I knew you guys would think it was strange for me to say, but it's true.
What's that?
So chat is a calming influence. Interesting.
Don't let that go to your head, chat.
New username, who dis, said, I still want to know who told Jen who I was. Suspiciously looks around.
I mean, that was me.
I was going to say, I figured it out. But you did say some of the things that I know to be OMG Mike, so it just, you know.
He changed his name like 3 times a day.
And think we won't know who you are. Because we know you. The super busy days when Jason doesn't show up and then he sits in the chair. It's clear that it's for a defragmentation of the day, which has been clearly nuts. Exactly, yes.
Yeah, there's
the comfy
just,
chairs serve many purposes.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, which is kind of a pun in itself here, but at the end of the day, this is just a business like any other. There's the same worries, the same work that has to be done on a consistent basis. We just have the kind of ability to rest on the fact that we do something really cool and fun. So I think our effort, might feel a little bit more gratifying quicker. I don't know if that's true, right? But I think if you do something that you enjoy, regardless if it's a fun job or not, that you'll find the same thing. It's like all the hard work pays off quicker, I think, because you don't feel as beat up by it, maybe. But it's still work.
Only 49 more years until I can work at Monument Hobby storefront.
How many more?
49.
What rule is that?
Well, because I think he's thinking like plaid paint time frame.
Oh, 70. Yeah. 73.
73. You changed it 3 times in one stream? I didn't think that was. Oh, I guess you're on YouTube.
He's on YouTube, so you can change it every month.
Change it however many times you want. Game Delay said, I'm going to change my username and start talking about eating paint all the time. You'll never figure out who I am. Stream is a perfect vibe to decompress after sound check and slide into showtime.
Nice.
That's Bud.
Yeah, we love it. This is, for those of you that may be new around here, the stream started our business. Jen and I would stream teaching people painting. And
before we ever sold anything.
The hobby before we ever sold a single product.
Yep.
And then we started making products and having support of the community and pushing us that way. So Monument Hobbies has always been a community brand in that sense. Some people in chat right now have been here for that whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So going on 8 years, 9 years. Crazy.
James Meek said, I love my job. Well, that's good.
James works here in production.
James works here. Would probably be it would be unusual, James, if you were to come in to chat and start talking about how much you hate your job. Don't burn yourselves or your employees out. And we try not to. I think the hobby world is now awakening to how great your products are. Better to under-deliver while growing at a sustainable pace rather than to crash and burn is something I've learned. Yeah, we definitely are trying to avoid crash and burn. Kyle yelling at James. Get back to work already, James. Max Salty, I think that's a compliment, so thank you. Ah, the good old days, Nick Pie. Pie, a long timer.
We've been blessed with an amazing community.
Yeah, for sure.
People that supported what we did, our crazy ideas, how we chose to do it. You know, whoever said that, you know, grow at a sustainable pace. That's been one of our biggest mantras around here.
That was Vector.
We've pissed a lot of people off because we won't jump on the, hey, let's make a few bucks train. We have to make sure we can do it and be here tomorrow and do it right at a quality level we like. And that's been a bummer for, especially like retailers, people that want to carry our product in their store, because we won't sign on new retailers until we know we can produce enough paint to handle demand. And that's been tough because our demand has been huge and outpacing our ability to grow for years. You know, you can't just bring in a new filling machine instantaneously. Hell, we've learned that the hard way, and every time we've tried to put a new machine in production.
Papa Chicken said, lamenting the fact that I cannot purchase a bold sense of humor from your site anymore. I'm doomed to be drab until the end of my days.
They'll be back.
Maybe not.
They'll be back. We just have to finish the main ones that got sold, and then we'll put them on. We won't be doing any more painted ones, though.
No more painted ones.
So the chance to get a hand-painted, oversized XL sense of humor are gone.
Game Delay said, give us the inside scoop, James. When do we see the next Wizard's butt?
Ooh, it's on my desk.
It is?
Yeah.
I don't have any.
The next Wizard butt color is on my desk. You want a sneak peek check?
Who didn't give me Wizard's butt?
Huh?
I don't have any.
Well, it doesn't label. I have the only one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Someone was about to get fired. Ghost Hunter, one of your FLGS. Oh. No way. Hold on. And Retro Evil, I'll get to your question about the wet palette when Jason gets back. FLGS won't carry Pro Acryl because they got denied a paint rack back in the day. Ooh. That's neat. Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate for them because we can now, we're doing a lot better at keeping up with stock, so we're opening more stores again. So that's a bummer for them.
Hey, Gabe. Gabe.
There was a question. Here we go.
Can you give me a Wizard's butt sticker? Like a label?
Retro Evil Inc. said, I know you don't like them, but will we ever see a wet palette? I'd love to have a Monument Hobbies branded one.
We never say never. But we haven't been able to really nail in a technology that I feel makes them better in a way that I get behind. So we're looking at ways to do that. It just takes a kind of a back seat to all of our paint production and other tools that are further along. But yeah, we're, like I said, never say never.
Gabe Delay said, I don't want a sneak peek. I want a bottle. Nick Pie would like an italic sense of humor.
No. That works.
Noir said, I used to work in a factory, and every time we got a new machine, it was always a train wreck for months after installation.
Oh my God.
I mean,
it's freaking horrible.
It's been a little rough.
I hate when I go in with fairly manageable expectations and they just get shot to crap because companies don't know how to operate. It's even worse because, like, I would never recommend these guys now, and we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars with them.
Ridiculous.
And now I wouldn't buy another machine from them. So now I have a machine that, while we'll get it to work, I can't duplicate. because I wouldn't deal with the manufacturer again. It's a real pain in the butt, man.
Papa Chicken said, do you find that even though you have access to all the colors, you can't wait to dream up new ones?
Not really. It's a hard task for me because I don't paint with a lot of colors. I prefer mixing, which you can probably tell from the line. The line is very indicative of the way that I paint personally. While I do have fun making new colors, it's very exciting. It's also kind of stressful because I feel like, well, you know, we don't really need a whole lot else. Ooh, nice.
Hey, Ghost Hunter, what's the name of the
Thank you, sir.
store?
It actually goes on the...
Kyle's on
I know,
it.
I saw that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Zambies, I heard butt. I was summoned.
Zambies, you're about to witness the butt. Don't clip that.
Vector said, every time I'm at my local hobby store, I encourage them to keep more Pro Acryl paints on display. We appreciate you.
There you go. It's actually even one of the label colors.
That looks really good with the label on it.
Right. So this is the next
that's
edition
fine.
of Wizard's Butt. MPA Butt. The ever-changing color because nobody knows what color a Wizard's Butt is anyway. So Wizard's Butt. This is the next one. There will be a few hundred of these.
Oh.
So it'll be very limited. Very, 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 very limited. Like that's less than a full, that's less than a third of a full run almost.
Yeah.
So you won't have very many because we hand mix and hand pour this. So it's very rare. But it's more than a dozen like last time where we gave away, I think, 10. And that was all. This one will be on the store. It'll be the first time we sell Wizard's Butt on the store.
Zambi's passed out Pro Acryl in her classes this weekend, forced everyone to paint with your stuff. She's so evil.
That's not evil. That's doing the good work, Zam. How you doing, girl?
Dickie B. Stumble said, I've been around long enough. I used to get my paint from Jason by going through monkeysdoingit.com.
Oh, my God.
Now every time I go to that site, all I get are monkeys doing it.
Turns out somebody from the Nature Channel got hold of
in
it.
a while.
We only had that for like a year or two. That just shows how funny chat is.
Yeah,
Chat was like, we
chat's
should
been
do.
funny for years.
We talked about monkeysdoingit.com and we immediately got the domain and immediately forwarded it to our website. It was hilarious. Oh, did we tell them the Games Workshop thing?
I don't know. Maybe?
Chat, did we mention to you the cease and desist we got from Games Workshop? Is anybody
tell you this
interested in
story?
that story?
James is saying nothing about this.
Game delay you want. It's a great gray purple. It's a freaking fantastic color. And it doesn't mean that if you get a color that's Wizard's Butt that it might not make it to be a real color someday. It's a good way for us to test fun stuff.
Wizard's Butt
But
will
these are not
be...
made the way that we make our normal paints. They
Yeah.
are our normal paints, but these are remnants, like literally just mad scientists together.
Yeah.
It doesn't go through our normal production process.
They don't go to, like, the stores don't get them, no.
No, this is only on the website. Stores
Very
won't have these
limited.
available.
Are you going to sell them?
Yeah.
Oh. Can you show Wizard's Butt next to Faded Plum?
Yeah. It's like dark faded plum.
Oh, yeah. That looks really good. I like that color. Roby said, I'm new. What is Wizard's Butt?
Exactly.
Exactly. Exactly, kid.
If you watch, so Wizard's Butt came about because one of our first big commercials that people loved.
Oh,
It has me walking through the office doing fun stuff. It has Jen dancing in a unicorn suit.
That's just a unicorn. I don't know what you were talking about.
Oh, that's just our unicorn. It shows our unicorn in the lab, and and at one point in there we talk about how we like to keep things really simple, focus on quality. It's just like the way we name our paints because our paints, like blue is called blue, right? If you have a fluorescent green, it's called fluorescent green. It's not called like nuclear goblin snot. We put my nephew in a dunk tank, and he has a line in the commercial where he goes, "Yeah, like what the heck color is Wizard's Butt
I'm gonna
anyway?"
just put the.
I dunk him.
I'm gonna put up the commercial. And
So-
I'm gonna put the link in.
So that's stuck. The
Okay.
Wizard's Butt part stuck because everybody's like, "Yeah, what color is Wizard's Butt?" So we make Wizard's Butt, and it's just a rando color. Like the first Wizard's Butt was this yellow. It's kind of like a banana yellow. But these are the exact same SKU. They're both MPA butt.
You need to move on to the GW story because people are going to lose their mind if you don't.
What?
Yes, they're all like, okay, fine, we get it, but tell us this story.
Well, they say, but also tell me when I can buy butt.
Oh, okay.
You're craving that wizard's butt. Exactly. It's funny, too. We all want that butt. It's a kink we didn't know we had. Exactly. You did, T. Schmidt, because you're not paying attention. The next wizard's butt is like a dark, faded plum. We found out. It's rando gray purple, which is really cool. It's same price, walking harder. $4.65, or it might be $5 because we're having a hand do it. I'll have to talk to the guys on timing and stuff because it doesn't go through our normal bottling process, so it's a lot less efficient. So it might be like signature series color price, like $5. But on that one, there may be 200 or 300 bottles. So we'll let you guys know here and on Discord before we make it live to the public or whatever. We'll just kind of sneak it in. It's not like it's a big selling thing. It's just for fun. So we'll put it on the site. We'll let you know. We don't like advertise it or anything.
How does one acquire the butt of a wizard?
How does one acquire the butt of a wizard? It's going to be a bloodbath.
I knew I had this kink, just didn't know that Monument would sell me butt. Give me the butt date. Also, GW story.
So through our support desk comes an email from GW Legal.
Well, I wasn't sure. So I got it first, and I looked at it, and I was like, all right, allegedly, we got
GW is sending us this thing. But it looked like a spam thing. Like, here, click this link to go to our legal department and give us your bank info, right? And Jen sends it to me and says, I don't know if this is real or not. And so she assigned the ticket from Zendesk to me. And so I go and I look at it, and I read through it, and I look the guy's name up, the Esquire, right? And he's an attorney for this GW legal firm, or the legal firm that represents GW. And so I'm like, okay, well, it seems legit. And there is a website out there called warhammerpaint.com. I want everybody to go to it right now. warhammerpaint.com.
Does it still work? Or did they get...
And now, and you'll see why they sent us a cease and desist. What's the closest color to that new wizard's butt? It's a lovely butt. Zambies. So we get this whole like mountain of verbiage salad from GW attorneys because they have to be verbose because they charge by the word, right? So I assume one of our community members out there went and got the Warhammer Paint domain. Because if you go to Whois, the lookup tool, it's a private domain. It doesn't give out anybody's, so we don't know who owns it. And they redirected Warhammer Paint to Monument Hobbies.
And it does have a link at the top. No, we're not. It's has nothing to do with us.
Oh no.
We don't own the website.
Oh no, we don't own it.
No, not at all.
We don't own it. Yeah, it's Michael Montalongo. So we did some research, and Michael is actually one of our affiliates. So what a great sales deal he's doing. He's got this link, and you click the link, and it goes, and you're shopping with his affiliate code. So. Yeah, the cease and desist went to the wrong people. Yeah. They said, we need you to stop. And so I wrote, you should have seen.
Yeah.
Gamadile, you would be very, very happy with the letter I wrote back.
The response was great.
I started the response by saying, we appreciate you reaching out. The Dear Sirs sent to a woman-owned company was especially pleasing.
They did say, they addressed the initial email as Dear Sirs, as if this could only potentially be
the whole world is run by men, right? So, they said, Dear Sirs. So I started my letter back saying, we appreciate your contact. The Dear Sirs part to a woman-owned company was especially well received. And then I informed them that there is this amazing database on the internet called Whois, where you can look up the actual owner of websites. We are not the owner, nor do we condone the misuse of IP in this regard. but we have no influence over making this end. So, pretty funny.
I don't think Jen is a boy's name. Also Jennifer, which is definitely not a boy's name.
We had a good time with it.
It still works. If you go to that website right now, it'll take you to monumenthobbies.com.
They didn't get back to us though.
Yeah, no, we haven't heard anything in response.
So they're formulating their game plan. The shotgun Suis game delay.
Liquor said, to be fair, he's doing anyone looking for Warhammer paint a service.
Well, I said in my letter to him, I said, Monument Hobbies, as the world's premier manufacturer of hobby paints and supplies, you know, because he spent a lot of paragraphs talking about how Games Workshop has worked for the goodwill in the community and manufactures the amazing products they do and stuff like that. So we hammered him back. We were like, well, actually,
it was pretty great. It was kind of a fun day.
As the world's best paint manufacturer.
Excellent trolling, yes.
Yeah, we trolled him.
Game Delay said, that's so good. The amount of respect I have for Mr. Montelongo is immense. a new top 10 hit, A Boy Named Jen. It is quite
It's just the standard attorneys doing zero research, you know. They get paid by the hour, so they don't care. They see a website, Monument Hobbies. He didn't even take, he says, we see that you sell a selection of paints. They didn't even do any research as to who we were.
No.
I was offended.
Yeah, seriously.
I wanted to write back and say, do you know who we are? Because we had no clue what was going on. I was like, really? WarhammerPaint.com? And when I looked it up, I just started laughing.
Telemachus said, tell them how their products spurred the creation of Bold Titanium White.
That was a Spanish company. But yes, kind of an industry as a whole.
Sammy said, I think Jen should have replied and started with, I know I have big dick energy, but I'm a ma'am and I own this business. Address me accordingly. GW hands out cease and desist notices like candy.
Yeah. I mean, we took it seriously. If it had been something we were actually doing, we would have taken it very seriously, but it wasn't anything we were doing. We definitely stand on non-infringing on people's IP, but, you know, you can't, I mean, they would have a hard time enforcing that one, I think.
What makes this joke even better is that it's hosted by Squarespace. What does that mean?
Like a GoDaddy kind of thing.
Oh. You may refer to me as Lord Commander. Dear sirs, please. Warhammer Paint? Never heard of her. CitadelPaint.com is available, everyone. Yeah, that was a fun day. Wouldn't the onus be on them to secure the rights to Warhammer domains?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you can't go, like, if McDonald's forgot to get McDonald's.com, you couldn't go get McDonald's.com and sell burgers. Right? Trademarks do have relevance. It's like what was that movie? With Eddie Murphy, and the guy had McDougal's, and he says,
"Oh, Coming to America."
Coming to America, where he had the golden arches, but he called it something else.
The golden arcs.
The Golden Ark.
They have the Big Mac. We have the Big Mick.
That'd be a great April Fool's if we did like War Pick instead of Warhammer. Battle Axe.
They aren't burgers, they're meat patties. I believe it was McDowell's.
McDowell's or something, yeah.
Seen that movie many, many times.
It was Mick something.
Pretty sure it was McDowell's. I thought the sequel was fun. Jason didn't like it.
What's that?
You didn't like the sequel, the Coming to America sequel.
The sequel?
Yeah.
Did I watch it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, maybe you weren't really watching it, but we definitely watched it.
When did that happen?
When it came out.
Oh.
It was a long time ago.
I mean, the first one's funny, but it's not like top 10 movie list kind of stuff. So it's one of those where I'm like, it needs a sequel. Why? Didn't we tell that story?
Oh, it ended with them getting married. There's more. Spoiler alert. Sorry. If you haven't seen a movie that came out in the 1980s.
Around here, you get, I forget how many months we get.
Yeah.
You get
1
6
month.
months.
1 month.
And then spoilers are open. 1 month. Eddie Murphy needed a paycheck. He's coming back and doing something else, right? Like Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yeah. There's like a Netflix show, I think. Like
yeah,
a series.
there's like a Beverly Hills Cop thing going on. Axel Foley making a return.
Yeah,
or
I
no,
think
is that Axel Foley?
Yeah, and I think it might be called Axel Foley or something like that.
What was the one he did with Nick Nolte? 48 Hours?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a great movie. Now You Got Me. I love it. It was like some a-hole bought the last POS blue Cadillac convertible because he was driving around in like a red Porsche, old vintage Porsche.
Papa Chicken said, I'm not knocking your process with the Regent, but I can't help myself from wanting you to noosh it already.
I know, but I'm not gonna noosh it.
Look how precise this guy is with edge highlighting. This is Jason.
I don't know. We could use noosh for some weathering. I could show you how to use noosh in a very exact method, you know. But this model for scaling, noosh is kind of like an all-over thing like we did, right? I can use some noosh for like the weathering around the bottom when we get the texture paste and stuff on it. I'm not going to do like this kind of noosh, like all over, just smack it on there, I don't think.
It's a show called Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
Yeah, I think they're both in it, right?
I'm looking. What's it about?
Judd something?
Judge Reinhold.
Judge Reinhold.
He's back on the beat in Beverly Hills after his daughter Jane's life is threatened. She and Foley team up with a new partner and old pals Billy Rosewood, Judge Reinhold, and Taggart, John Ashton, to turn up the heat and uncover a conspiracy. So yes. Zambies, we did that on purpose. Horton, here's the heresy.
That would be good, actually. I'm down for that. Horton, here's a heresy.
It looks like wizardsbutt.com is available, although there is a bumper sticker that says Wizard butts drive me nuts. Surprisingly, both detectives from the original Beverly Hills Cop movies are still kicking. And I'm trying to figure out how to rewrite Whip It by Devo to New Shit. New Shit good.
Da-na-na-na-na. That'd be a great commercial. I think we have that on the whiteboard. Devo hats.
Paul Reiser is in it, and then Bronson Pinchot is Serge. All right, I gotta watch that. When is it on? July 3rd. Oh, Salt and Pepper's Push It as New Shit. That would work too.
Aw, new shit.
New shit real good.
That it?
Yep. It's 3:30.
3:30?
Yeah.
Good God. Feels like I've done 18 million hours of this. Lining one mech. This is why I don't paint mechs this way. Too many panel lines.
I like Wizard's butt, and I cannot lie.
There's so many good ones.
So many songs. We could monumentize lots of music. Game delay, headed out. Well, we'll see you next time.
We could get cease and
Set
desisted
aside
by
a bottle
every...
of good stuff for me.
Get cease and desist from every major label out there. I like Wizard's butt, and I cannot lie.
Sir Mix-a-Lot is an excellent birthday twin. You have the same birthday as Sir Mix-a-Lot, Awkwardish Panda.
That's got to be good enough for government work, right?
Got to be in the seal suit for the music video.
so Christopher got me a stamp for my birthday.
Stamp.
That is the seal of approval. I told you guys yesterday. It's amazing. Vector, sleep well. We'll see you mañana.
Bye, Vector. I stamped a few of our shipping boxes with it, and it doesn't work great on boxes.
Yeah, it doesn't work well on the corrugated cardboard.
Yeah, because they're a little too bumpy.
Blinded. That's too high for my register.
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you, you'd probably be more sad if it did have the stamp on it because it's messy. Like, it didn't stamp all the way, so it's an incomplete stamp, so it's very unsatisfying.
Showing me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so good.
Gabe's going to make it into a sticker.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be a sticker.
So we will have a sticker for you soon. But the stamp is pretty cool.
We've got to figure out a way to use it. Tishman said, Fuse, did you see there's going to be a second season of Arcane in the fall?
Yep. Yeah, I knew from the get-go they said they were doing a second season. So I'm excited. It is like one of the few things I've ever sat and just binged. I don't remember what Jen was doing. Jen was gone, getting her hair did or something. And I sat there and watched that all day long.
Right? The stamp is great. We got to figure out a way to use it effectively.
Yeah, when Arcane came out and I watched it all, I was like, that is the best animated. Like, I guess you can't call it a feature because it's a series, but that's the best animation. I would put it up there as some of the best of all time. They nailed it. The voice acting was tremendous. The script was tremendous. Storytelling, animation, everything top notch. Something you just don't see in a land of copycat anime nonsense, right?
Jade, have a good night.
Jade, take it easy.
Len Runblad said if you liked Arcane, watch Blue Eye Samurai. It's so good.
Blue Eye
I feel like we
Samurai
talked
is
about
very good as well. I had a fun time watching it. You guys recommended it. I went and watched it. It was really good. It was a little, I don't know if half baked is the right term. It was a little bit too much samurai cliche, like Ronin cliche, which is good. It pays a good homage to a lot of the things you already know, but it didn't tell you anything new, right? But the story's pretty solid. The animation was okay. I'm not a huge anime fan, but it kept things pretty on point.
Brad Wallace said monumentizing songs is going to be what my brain hyper focuses on the rest of the night. Because he also had we will wash you.
I am happy that we've done this to you. Because for some reason I had horrible Aerosmith songs stuck in my head all day. That's what the world does to me. Like somewhere as I'm going to bed at night and turning off YouTube, scrolling through, I gotta remember that I can't end my night going through the YouTube reels or shorts or whatever they are, because that puts too much lightning fast ideas in your brain. I gotta end on like a boring video or a video that puts me to sleep, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, I assume that the reels are a lot like Instagram like TikTok, where there's certain songs that are really popular, and so you hear them in video after video after video.
Well, and there's just like rando background music.
Yeah.
That your brain isn't focused on in the front, but sits in that hind brain.
Yeah.
And then you go to bed, and I, probably dreamed about Aerosmith playing loud in a Camaro or something. And I wake up in the morning, and that's the song in my head. The Kit Kat commercial gets me all the time.
Give me a break.
Yeah. I wake up going to the bathroom, and the whole time I'm, give me a break, give me a break. And I'm like, what the hell? I don't even eat Kit Kat.
Noosh makes painting crazy.
Yeah.
To the tune of dude looks like a lady. I like it.
Noosh makes Jason crazy?
Noosh makes painting crazy.
Oh, painting crazy. I like that.
Just mentioning TikTok songs hit my brain with like 3 of them that wouldn't stop being used in 2020. Exactly.
I mean, we can get away with it with parody, but I wonder if we have to pay like royalties since it's in advertising.
Probably.
I used to know all that stuff, but I'm sure it's all changed with digital music.
Jason needs bathroom Kit Kats. Noted.
Mike, step away from the keyboard, my friend.
It's a very risky time of year to send anything chocolate to Arizona.
Yeah, don't send anything
don't, because
melty.
It'll be a box of mush.
Nothing melty to Arizona, please. Ah.
No, Mike here. We know it's you. You can't fool us. Have you guys watched the Netflix documentary about TikTok and the TikTok dancing cult?
I mentioned it in Discord yesterday when they were like, "Hello, cult leader,"
Oh yeah.
and
I
I was
still
like,
need to watch the last episode.
"That takes a whole new tone after Jen and I watched this show
Yup.
on Netflix." This is actually looking really good. I like the plain gray. We'll spice it up with some other color. I'm gonna do all the weapon surrounds in red. I know I did some of these in gray already, but that's okay.
Is it? I mean, it seems like a cult to me. They made them cut all ties with their family. Fine, Kit Kat art for the bathrooms. Is that a
Yeah.
thing?
Anytime a guy says you have to die to
Yeah,
your
you have
family
to die to your family.
and give all of your devotion to me,
Yeah,
that's a cult.
that's pretty culty to me.
That's a cult. That's a power trip from weak people preying on other people who may not necessarily be weak, but who have been given the opportunity to make tons more money than they've ever made in their lives, and so they follow this directive. It's got cult written all over it.
Yeah.
It's pretty textbook, but it's adults. So, the whole time
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, all these people are adults.
Yeah, and the
Like,
people called
nobody's
the
gonna do
police,
anything.
and the police are like, they called some human trafficking thing, and they're like, well, yeah, we don't really do a whole lot when the people there are adults because they're adults.
Turns out free will is a thing.
Yeah. It's called Dancing with the Devil or something like that. Something
Yeah.
very dramatic. And it's on Netflix.
It's
only
a good show.
It's 3 episodes.
It actually is really good.
Yeah, Jason,
I don't
after the
normally like
first
that
one-
stuff, but this is really good.
So he was scrolling. It was Sunday, and Jason was looking at TikTok or at Netflix, trying to find something that both of us would like. And he knows that I like documentaries about stuff like that, crime and cults and stuff. So he's like, "Does that look good?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we watched it, and at the end of the first episode, he looks and he's like, "This is really good." It's like, I don't normally like these, but this is actually pretty good.
Well, and it hits because all these people are relevant right now.
Yeah.
I say relevant. They're people that you will see on Instagram and TikTok doing
I
their
saw
dancing routines.
the main girl, the sister. I saw some of her dancing videos yesterday when I was looking at TikTok.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
it's
they're still doing all
it's
the
very
things.
relevant as opposed to a murder that happened in 1976,
Exactly.
where they're not going to tell you who did it.
Sir Blame said in Brazil in around 2015 there was this trend called the blue whale where people were hurting themselves and even throwing their lives away because of this cult. Exactly. It's people will do. I mean, Heaven's
I mean,
Gate.
you've heard of Guyana, right?
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate.
The phrase "drink the Kool-Aid" is a real thing. Math is your partner is the same. She'll watch anything about murder, cult, serial killers, etc. Yes.
The Guyana people killed a congressman.
That was the Jim Jones one,
Jim
right?
Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, Jonestown.
Or shot at him. I don't remember. Did he kill him?
They
They shot and killed that guy.
Yeah,
right?
like 3 or 4 people, I think.
He went
got
down
shot
there
and killed
as
at the airport.
a way to try to work with them to get those people back because their families were. They sent a congressman or a senator down there, and they either shot and killed him and his crew.
Yeah.
I remember there was a. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
like a reporter, I think.
No, the Kool-Aid cult was. I don't know where Jim Jones was actually from. I thought he was California, but maybe not. But they built a ranch in Guyana,
Mm-hmm.
which is where everybody moved out of the country to, which is why the congressperson went down there to try to talk with them.
Yep.
Not on official government business, but the Jonestown massacre.
Started in California, moved to Guyana.
Yeah, it did start in California, right? Oh, I'm sorry, it was Compound.
Heaven's Gate. Yep, Heaven's Gate was California. And then you had like Waco, Texas. What was that guy's name?
That one was
What
weird,
was that
right?
guy's
'Cause it
name?
was-
Why am I forgetting his name all of a sudden?
Huh?
I'm totally forgetting that guy's name.
Jim Jones started in Indiana. Valthorn, Thunderbolt, the light assault mech. This is a
David Koresh was the Waco guy. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
yeah. This is a what is this called? Starts with an R. I keep forgetting the name.
Oh, Regent.
Regent.
Yeah. Look at me.
It's a Regent.
I honestly.
It's a clan. It's a
just
filthy
said
clan
the
mech.
first R word I could think of. Mathis, I did not go to the UK. That is Jordan. He will be back. He just got back yesterday, so he'll be back on stream tomorrow. I was in San Diego. And the food was okay in San Diego. I had higher hopes. Oh yeah, Branch Davidians. That's them. Jason painted a heart on his thumb palette. What? Let's see. Oh, it does look like a heart.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, no, we'll get to hear all about Jordan's trip tomorrow. He told me he'd be back right as rain tomorrow. Those are his words.
He did use the words "right as rain."
He said that to you too?
Yep. He sent us the same thing.
Is it a UK expression that
He picked up
so
on his
quickly?
trip.
Is he gonna come back with an accent? He knows it doesn't rain much there. Oh, here it doesn't rain much. In the UK, it rains much. Rain isn't right. He'll be pronouncing water as water. Ghost Hunter said, I painted my wolf's dragoons. Dragoons?
Wolf's Dragoons.
Wolf's dragoons, exactly like Jason is painting this Regent, except my main color was camo green.
So
So
wait a minute.
not exactly.
So that's exactly opposite.
That's what I said, Mo. I think he will. Random thought on the topic of cults. Canada's most prolific serial killer was just recently murdered in prison. I didn't know they had serial killers in Canada.
Oh, come on. Nobody's really that nice.
There are road closures sometimes. Some roads do have to close when it rains here. Yes, Papa Chicken. That is correct. We have what are called washes. So because we don't really have a lot of like
Gutter system.
yeah, exactly.
We don't have, like, runoff.
Things like that. We don't have that. So they go out in certain areas. There'll be like a dip in the road, and it's supposed to wash through, but they flood.
Yeah, during our monsoon
During our
season.
monsoon seasons, it's very dangerous to drive in them. It's like public service announcements on the news and commercials that literally tell people, turn around, don't drown, rather than driving through the flooded wash.
And every year, they charge you.
Oh yeah.
They
if
fine you
if you have to get
massively if they
rescued,
have to come drag you out of a flooded
every
area in your
year
vehicle.
on the news, you're going to see people standing on the roof of their car in a
stupid.
flooded wash because they tried to drive through it thinking that they could make it.
Yeah, it's silly.
People are dumb.
People are dumb.
Who is who in this stream? I'm Jen, and that's Jason. And we, as a collective group in this building, are Monument Hobbies. And
Tim the Sorcerer, the third.
We make pro-acryl paint and other Monument Hobby products like Pro Sable and synthetic paintbrushes, go bags. What else? Tools.
We're kind of a big deal.
In our building, we're definitely a very big deal.
We're big in Botswana.
Can you imagine Baby J with an accent? Oi, lads and ladies, Chris, pish posh. He's crumpet, ain't he?
Pish posh. He's so funny. He tries to do that with Shelby. They say top of the morning to you.
He does say top of the morning a lot, yes.
He does his best there.
We do make brush group. Yes, it does have my name on it. I shouldn't forget that one. Rain in Phoenix is the ultimate Ford F-150 trap. Because they think they can make it, but they're not quite big enough. Serial killers market is dropping a lot recently. In 15 years in the future, there will be no more true crime shows or podcasts. Really? I think that we're just having like the market is saturated right now with true crime shows and podcasts.
I'll take that as a good sign. If all these true crime shows get rid of that, that'd be awesome.
Awkwardish Panda, I have not seen this. So it's a series of videos on TikTok. The creator thinks she's solving the Jack the Ripper case, and it might be Edgar Degas. I'm obsessed. I have not heard of this.
It was one of the royal family, wasn't it?
Jack the Ripper?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Element Games, Tim the Sorcerer, is our main distributor in the UK. They've got our stuff at multiple like all of their locations, plus lots of other stores. I will post a link for you right here. Hang on, maybe. You give me a second.
Yeah, we've got a whole host of stores over in the UK and Europe.
There you go. So if you click on that link, the pages/store locator one, you can type in your postcode and you'll see the stores that are close to you. And even if there's not one like within your area, you can have it shipped from most, if not all of them. Like you can order directly from Element Games and they'll ship it to you. So you don't have to purchase it from our website. All these true crime shows just show today's serial killers how not to get caught. I don't know. I still think that there's enough dumb criminals out there that will have years of true crime shows.
Yeah, I don't think we're in any trouble of.
Dealer of Death, I'm sorry. Yeah, the alerts are not showing up today for some reason. But thank you for this up. Bombwick brushes are not a thing anymore. The new and improved version are going to be
We just renamed it. We rebranded everything, and we
Pro Synthetic.
Yeah, Pro Sable, Pro Synthetic. We rebranded because the Bombwick was kind of a throwback to the old slow fuse gaming with the bomb snail and all of the lingo that we used in our old branding. When we became Monument, we always knew that the brushes needed to kind of graduate to the newer branding. So it's Pro Sables, Pro Synthetics. We used to have det cords and artillery brushes for the synthetics. We kept the blue handles. All of our blue handle brushes have always been synthetic. Our red handles have always been Sables. And every now and then we'll do like black handled versions of them. But so now they're just Pro Sables, Pro Synthetics. Better than ever.
Tim the Sorcerer, we're not an affiliate with Element Games. We manufacture these products and they distribute them throughout the UK for us. We have other distributors that we work with in other parts of the world.
Yeah,
but no, we're not an affiliate in that, like with discount codes or anything like that for them. Estrella said, true story, my AP US history teacher in high school had John Wayne Gacy as a clown at his birthday.
Awesome.
We were just talking about brush production today, actually. Haven't started it yet. We have all of the materials, I guess, equipment. We're getting there.
We do have all of the brushes in stock, though.
Yes, all of our brushes are in stock right now. Nick Pie actually found a number 2 Baumwick det cord, new in the tube, while cleaning up my bits boxes.
Nice.
It's vintage. You have a sable brush set in your cart waiting for payday, Mathis. Awesome. You getting it from a store in Australia? I don't know if they have them. Your sister-in-law was asked out by Ted Bundy and she said no.
Probably good for her.
Wow.
Just gonna say.
That's fascinating. I would be very interested to know why she said no.
He was creepy?
He was not, though. That's how he was such a successful serial killer. It's because he was handsome and charming. And nobody suspected anything.
He lit up a room.
He lit up a room.
I would just stay away from people that light up rooms. Just gonna throw it out there.
Well, no, the people that light up the rooms are the ones that
and
should
I'd
stay away from
them
everybody
too.
else.
I'd stay away from them too.
If someone ever tells you that you light up a room, you need to be mean. Start being meaner.
Yeah, because you're gonna be on a Dateline episode and not on the giving end.
That's so, Memphis, it's funny because I was looking at an order from someone in Australia today and not having any concept of like what kind of currency is used in Australia or conversion rates. And
Koalas.
Yeah.
They just, how many koalas
eggs.
does that cost?
They trade koala
It's the
eggs.
weirdest question we have to answer in customer service. How many koalas is that? It's like, I mean, we can't take any more koalas. We already have way too many, and they don't pack boxes well enough, so I'm sorry.
Because Memphis is saying that his order is currently about 850 Australian dollars. And I'm like, what are you buying? But that's
like $20.
Yeah, I think so. Because the order I saw today, it was like, I think it was a one of the signature sets, and it was like 200 Australian dollars or something. I'm like, wow.
It's like every now and then somebody will post something from like Games Workshop, like the new set is ridiculous. It's $1,200.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Or it's like $600. I'm like, what? And it's like, because they use the same dollar sign that we do.
Yeah.
For Australian dollars. Yeah, it's like half. Exactly. I was thinking it was like half or a little less or a little more.
Monument needs Wait, what? Where'd you get that? Pandas for order packing? Koalas, I think maybe you meant. Apparently in high school he hadn't learned the charming bit yet. Okay. Light up room people are doomed to be on Dateline. Exactly. Stay away from people. Noted. Successful. I mean, I feel like that's the easiest way to go, Mike. I do the same thing.
Then you don't feel judgmental.
Yeah. Dollary dues. You're going to do something sacrilegious. What are you going to do that's sacrilegious? You're going to put Italian meatballs into Chinese fried rice. Huh. If you squint, maybe it feels like risotto or orzo.
Seems legit.
Oh, he said koalas are bad at packing, so let's try pandas. I gotcha. Okay. I mean, I would take a panda. They're pretty
Pandas
cute.
are big. We don't have enough room.
Oh, that's probably true.
I feel like pandas, you can get 6 koalas in the space of
Ooh.
one panda.
Now Paint Licker's got it. That's a meal right there. You're going to take a tortilla, you're going to fill it up with some Chinese fried rice, and then add some meatballs to it. Wrap it all up.
It sounds
Some crazy
horrible.
burrito. Share your pain, my Commonwealth friend. CAD is about 73 cents to the dollar.
Canadian dollar's been taking it in the shorts lately.
A pita and maybe some barbecue sauce.
Well, obviously on the shoulders we'll do the Grey Death Legion logo, which I think is a red blossom, like a paint splash or something, with a skull in front of it. Right. I like the little patchwork coloration. Figure out some stuff on the back here. Nordeos, take it easy. Thanks for hanging with us. We are about to wrap up. For anybody who's new around here, thanks for hanging with us. You came from one of the raids. Much appreciated for sticking it out. We stream 5 days a week here. Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Crazy, I know. We like you guys. We like spending time with you. We like painting. Even if that painting is 2 hours of fine gray lines. Fine. Perfectly fine. And I'll be popping some links up pretty soon. Make sure you check them out. Check out the Monument Hobbies store. Next time you need some hobby supplies, maybe check out Pro Acrylic paints if you've never used them. We make the finest art grade hobby paints that you'll find. Also have a lot of other really cool stuff. And make sure to check out the store locator that you put up a minute ago. Support your local stores any chance you get. They do all the heavy lifting. They put up with you guys in person, so they deserve a lot of credit. We just have to deal with you on the internet. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have a Jordan back. Right as rain. Oh yeah, that's right. The bot's not working, Ghost Hunter, so maybe not. We'll talk about some mini... Wait. Let me scroll back up. What's up, hello? Good to see you. Would love to talk you with me about some mini painting business collab along with certain miniature company that asked you for acrylic paint brands. Where should you contact me? You can email me directly, as a matter of fact, at jason@monumenthobbies.com. I'd love to speak with you. Love your work. Is it just because you're cheaper than therapy, Captain Mannerings? I wasn't going to say it in my outside voice. Yeah. New username, who dis? Mike. Jordan was International Man of Mystery for the last week, so he left us. Luckily, I still love you enough to show up. So. Ethan. How to get Monument illegally classified as a sanctuary in order to get a panda able to be saved and protected. That all checks out. I mean, why not? Mini painting is cheaper than therapy? I mean, that's questionable at best. You got it. That's me. Shoot me a message. Give me the details. Anything you want to discuss, we'll open it up there. Easy. Even shared your birthday. Well, yeah. Who else would I spend my birthday with? The woman of my dreams left me. This is perfect entry. She just walked right back into the studio. Right when we're saying that. Chat was like, I even shared my birthday with him. It's like, well, I mean, what else was I gonna do?
Because chat showed up. Yeah.
Because Chat was here. Chat didn't abandon me. Yeah, Mike, that was literally perfect timing. As soon as I started talking, she walked in.
So mean.
That Battletech Mercenaries Kickstarter was not cheaper than therapy. I mean, it depends on your therapist, right? You got to up your therapy game. You got to get serious. If your therapist is charging less than about $500 an hour, are you even therapying? Are you even getting better, bro? I saw a commercial, I forget what, maybe on YouTube last night or whatever, and it was this person saying, I'm a therapist, and I also go to therapy, and some people think that's weird, but therapists are just human. It was this whole weird humanizing therapist thing that was just a therapist
of course.
advertising for herself. I was like,
Right.
so go to the therapist that also goes to therapist. I was like, well, that's kind of like a therapy inception.
I just buy more paint when I get sad. Seems to work.
Yeah. Self-medication through purchasing therapy is what my gig too, Zambies. Go out and buy a new pair of shoes.
Oh no, Gates of Paint.
You got the new sets on Saturday. Now I'm sick and too miserable to paint. No!
But at least there's something to look forward to for
Yeah.
when you're feeling better.
That'll help you get better quicker
Yeah.
because you're excited about it.
I gotta go paint.
Sorry, it's therapy Ouroboros. Yeah, just eating its tail. All right, everybody. That's it. The Battletech Kickstarter ships this week or next, doesn't it? No, I thought it was like closer to October. Right? I think they said they had some early shipping stuff they were getting done ahead of schedule, but I don't know. I haven't been paying attention, Mo. I know they sent me a deal saying that I needed to update my final payment and shipping information, so I did that last week. So maybe it is moving forward. I don't know. Mike, it's medication now? I need to order more. Didn't realize it was now over-the-counter antidepressants. Yes.
Ah,
Procryl. Certified
And
over-the-counter
puppies.
antidepressants. Wait a minute. Don't clip that.
Puppies.
Puppies and Procryl.
Yeah.
4,389 amazing artists
I
in the
gotta put the
Discord,
links
and
up.
one person enjoying watching Jason edging panels. Edging, period, panels, period. Ghost Hunter? The family show. Take 2 drops of bold pyro red and call me in the morning. I'd prefer you don't have to call me. You can just shoot me a PM on Discord.
I don't want to talk on the phone.
Can you imagine, like on Wizard's Butt? We take Wizards, for those of you that weren't here early in the stream. Ooh, what's this? New paint. Who dis?
Beautiful.
Can you imagine, like in this, we put Procryls are certified antidepressants?
No.
Think we get in trouble?
Yeah.
Put doggo image on paint bottle, double the serotonin. Cute puppies. Every bottle of Procryl comes with a picture of a cute puppy. But thank you guys and gals for hanging out with us. Remember, we do stream 5 days a week. Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 Mountain Standard Time. Just look up whatever time it is in Phoenix, Arizona. And if it's 2 p.m., between 2 and 4, come here. We'd love to have you. So, yes, pictures of puppies. We should do that for like a month. We should just have like cute puppies on postcards or something. We should get with like one of the local shelters and do like a promo thing. That would actually be really cool. Like, see if somebody has like a national group that they're part of where we could ship U.S. orders with like a really cool. That'd be a cool, fun thing.
Yeah.
So there you go. So thanks. Hang out with us more. That's all you got to do. If you really want good medication, come hang out with us. We're good brain food. Our Discord has got 4,389 amazing artists and Ghost Hunter. So
Including Ghost Hunter.
Great
Gates of
24-hour
Paint, I'm glad
therapy in the
that-
hobby space for you. Lots of inspiration. Great place to hang
We're
out.
able
We've
to
got a
hang out
new
with us.
challenge started up for June, which is a limited color palette. That's a lot of fun. Open for everybody to join no matter what level of painting you're at. We'll be reviewing the May challenge Thursday, I believe, 2 days from now. So that's going to be happening. So lots of really cool community stuff focused around here all the time. We'd love to see you back. Stick around. We're going to find somebody to raid to take you off into the evening with more hobby goodness.
Don't eat the paint.
What's that?
I said don't eat the paint.
Oh, don't eat. And Jen says don't eat the paint.
Cat people might stop buying Procryl if puppies on them. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
So maybe we'll put like a little cat in the corner.
Cats
All right,
and
gang.
dogs.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll catch you back here tomorrow.
Bye.